It's all over, quote unquote, David Haye. I'm eating my words. Look at the big smile on your face. How many times have you watched it, Tyson?
I actually don't watch the fights after they're finished. I'll have a quick look on like Insta or something like that at a few other highlights, but I don't watch the actual boxing. Not unless I'm on a running machine or cross training for an hour or something. And I watch like some highlights of some boxing and whatever. But yeah, I don't go over the tapes and all that. From
You don't dwell on it?
No. As soon as you're out of that ring, it's over. It's finished.
Party time. Dave, the reason why you had to eat your words, of course, we had that famous confrontational round table, just about where you're standing now, where Gypsy John was there, your father, and you thought it would go the other way. At what point in the fight did you realise you'd got it wrong? At what point in round one did you realise, Dave?
I think it was the way Tyson came across the ring and really he asserted himself in that first round as he did after he got knocked down in the first fight. After when he got back to his feet and he came at him, because in the end of the 12th round in the first fight, he completely bossed it and dominated him, hit him with that overhand right and really put the pressure on him. He just carried it straight on from that last fight.
But you told us you were going to do it, but we're going to hold our hands up. Very few people believed you were going to come out and do it, Tyson.
I know. But, you know, it is what it is. It's boxing, and everyone's allowed their own opinions on who they think will win. That's what makes heavyweight division interesting. You know, people sometimes look at me and they think, yeah, he's fat, he's bald, he's ugly to watch and whatever. But, you know, I get the results, don't I? 32 in a row, I believe, now.
Not do you just get the results, but you put together some tactics there with your team, and the whole thing just worked perfectly. And I've not spoken to you at length because it was chaotic on the night. At what point in the first round did you realise it was going so smoothly? I know this is an inquest after the fight, but when did you realise?
I realised it December the 1st, 2018 in round 12. Because I was doing my thing, boxing, slick, moving, sliding, missing 90%, 98% of his punches. And when he clipped me both times, I fired back into him and I thought, come on, let's have it. Because when you go down, you can either run away and get clipped again and get knocked out, or stand and fight, basically. And that's it. So when you stand and fight fire with fire, you either get chinned or you chin the person or whatever happens. And in my case, I didn't get chinned, and I seemed to hurt Wilder, and he didn't like the pressure I was putting on him. Even in round 12, when I got back up off the floor, he didn't like what was happening in round 12. So I made my mind up. From that second, I got back up. Even after the fight, I said, listen, I know how to beat this fella. I've got him. He can't win, not unless he lands a massive punch. And I started it from round one. I didn't learn this from Sugar Hill or anybody. Yeah. I knew that's exactly what I was going to do when I was going to take that fight. I said, listen, I'm going to change trainers. I'm going to do something totally different. I'm going to attack him from round one. And everyone's like, no, that's suicide. You don't back up the biggest puncher in history. You don't fight fire with fire. You're a slick boxer. Use your boxing and your size. But I didn't. I went straight at him, put it on him. And then, in a career, long career,
and it has been a long career.
Yeah, it has been. 2008.
Yeah, a long time ago.
Every now and again, you have to stand and fight. And it's a 50-50 fight sometimes. Yeah. You know, every now and again, these fights come where it's either you or him, and it goes down to who wants it more and who's going to win on the night. It doesn't go down to boxing ability or talent or anything. It goes down to pure guts, determination, heart and bravery. And on that night, I said, this is my time. Immortality awaits. And I actually battered the biggest puncher in history. I never even got a mark on me. Not even a black eye, nothing.
Yeah, no, you didn't have a mark on you. Dave, even Tyson said, that's a boxing suicide mission. Even as we were watching the first round, it's still a boxing suicide mission. It
is, unless you have the inner belief and you know something everybody else doesn't. You know, he knew in that 12th round of the first fight. I didn't know he could do that. I thought that was just, he got knocked down, he got up, and he just, I don't know, just, it was his instinct. But that was deeply enrooted in him to stand and fight and push the pace and push the pressure on, as he said, one of the biggest punchers, if not the biggest puncher, pound for pound, in history. He's knocked pretty much everyone else out. He's hit on the chin. And he took his best and just walked him down and just put him in a serious uncomfort zone that he couldn't get out of. And he just got stuck in it and just couldn't fight his way out. You know, Tyson just put the pace and put the pressure on him, roughed him up inside. And I'm not sure what else Wilder can do with that stuff.
We'll come to that. We'll talk about a potential.
Here's an interesting fact before you change subject.
Oh, no, I don't want to change subject.
Right. An interesting fact is, right, me, the old feather duster here who can't crack an egg, has beaten the #1 And number 4, biggest punchers in the heavyweight division. There was WBC done a thing. I had to comment on it earlier and put some laughing faces on, right? They'd done a thing like 1 to 10, the biggest punchers in heavyweight history.
Yeah.
And number 1 was Wilder, and number 4 was Klitschko. And Mr. Featherduster's beaten both. Yeah. And I'm about to beat another one in the top 10, AJ. So that'll be 3 knockout masters by 1 Featherduster. Not bad, is it?
It's not bad for a feather duster.
No.
Now, I've got to ask you this. You're not going to get away with it. I mean, you got your suit on, so everyone looks at your suit. But I'm going to look at your shape. Because I can tell. I've seen the crazy pictures of you working as a horse. Tyson Fury, horse. It's your new role. I've seen those. They're brilliant with your friend who's in the chair. Yeah. But you look, and I don't have to blow smoke up your backside. You look fantastic.
Thank you. I've worked on this outfit for about 4 seconds.
Not the outfit, the body.
Oh, not my dress sense then, Steve. Come on.
I like your dress sense, but let's talk about your fitness regime during lockdown. I know there was the fun stuff with Paris and the kids.
It's been 2 years now, Steve, hasn't it? It's been 2 years since I had that mental breakthrough. It took me to get to 29 years old before I realised that I can be happy all the time if I train all the time. So I train twice a day, 5 days a week, and once on a Saturday, like a nice run, long run or something. And I'm really happy with it. I can fit in my clothes well, and I feel good, and I feel mentally good and all that. So it works for me. It's my medicine to train. Before it was just like, I spent a long time, a long period in my life from being 10, 12 years old right up to being 27, where I only trained to box. And I'd do a training camp, get in good shape, 10, 12 weeks, have the fight, win, and then go and put 5 stone back on within the next 3 or 4 months before I was active again. And I realised when I made the comeback that I don't have to do that anymore. That hard work that I used to put myself through, it doesn't exist anymore, because say I box at 19 stone, I go in the gym at 19.2, I'm ready. I'm not battling anymore to lose any weight. I'm just fighting at me weight what I walk around at, because I'm always in shape now. To me, anyway. And
just one quick one. I want me to move on because Sonny Edwards has been warming up, and I'm going to ask you this about the whole lockdown. Was it tough on your mental health? Because we've seen the smiling faces, but we've seen them before. Was there low points during this lockdown for you, Tyson?
Let me answer that question nice and simple for you. Low points during lockdown. Never mind lockdown, Steve. There's low points on a day-to-day basis. When you're mentally unwell like me on a daily basis, I have highs and lows, but I have to deal with it. And I've got a mechanism now of dealing with mental health problems, which is training and thinking positive and doing other stuff as well, short-term goals and whatever. But there's always going to be low points, always, forever. But the lockdown, it was almost a blessing for me, because I just had the big fight, been away for a long time, since early November. Mid-November I went away to America for that fight. Long time. And I put a long time in America in training camps. I come back with my family, and all of a sudden this thing happened, world pandemic. And it just stopped everything that was going to happen. All these things that people wanted me to do, and I had to do, like for the boxing and for everything. I had the interviews and all this stuff. It all went dead. And it was almost like it was a blessing for me, because I didn't have all that work to do. I could spend precious time with my family and all that. And I was still training anyway. So it was terrible, but you have to make a positive out of every negative. And I know you want to move on, so I'm going to shut up.
Hey, listen, it's criminal almost to move on. David, thanks so much. And we'll hear from you a lot later on, Tyson. Thanks so much. Paul, back to you.
And I don't care, quite honestly. I hope he wins more big fights, but I honestly don't care, because I think it's secondary to what Tyson Fury has achieved in terms of his inspiration and the example he has given to so many who find it so very difficult in his life outside the ring. And I think he needs applause from across the United Kingdom for doing that.